Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Fahid bin Hisham. I'm from 80220 Now I will presenting about the effect of decrease in price of petrol to Malaysia consumer and economies. This video for my case study of the economic agriculture production AGR 553. Malaysia was shaken by the outbreak of COVID-19 disease in mid-April. The rise in this outbreak has had many negative effects on the economy of the world. A movement and world are limited to. This large rise in case also prompted the government to issue a movement control order, or we call MCO, on 18 April 2020. The following statement have had a major impact on the economy, especially on the oil sector, which is also affected. The fall in oil price during the movement control order MCO season is one of the significant effects in the field of petroleum. The price of petrol and diesel pump continues to fall as a result of uncertainty created by the COVID-19 pandemic. Motorists who want to fill their tank with, for example, RON 97 petrol will pay 8 cents less per litre. Then, starting tomorrow, the Ministry of Finance said the new pump price for RON 97 will be cheaper from RM 1 ringgit 98 cent per litre to 1 ringgit 90 cent for the period of 4 to 10 April. The retail price for RON 95 petrol will also be less than 8 cents from RM 1 ringgit 38 cent to RM 1 ringgit 30 cents. Diesel would be cheaper by 10 cents per litre from RM 1 ringgit 98 cent to 1 ringgit 58 cent. The ministry said the fall in the retail price of oil product was due to the ongoing decline in global crude oil process following COVID-19 global economy instability. Based from my opinion, many of the consequences of dropping oil price on consumer and the national economy. Okay, so we go for the consumer first. Most definitely, consumer will not raise the quantity of the consumption due to the lower cost, but will have a surplus of money that can be spent on other goods. This means that the disposable income of the consumer will be increased. Net consumer spending will also rise as a result. Consumers will decide whether they will spend their money now or in the future. Capital spending typically refer only to real consumer expenditure. Saving, which also funds saving in the production of new consumer goods, are known to be different revenue from future expenditure. Consumer spending is, of course, very important to company. The more money a customer spend on a specific brand, the higher the performance of the company. Now we go to the government. The government revenue from oil source are falling, with lower oil price impacting government spending. If the government spend the same amount as the initial plan, even with a decrease in income, the government debt will be increased. On the government side, the fall in oil price has had an impact of the generation of oil-related revenue. For example, Mr. Muhammad Nizam said, however, that the government is giving the government the freedom to spend government money by raising the national debt ceiling to 60% of gross domestic product (GDP). Indeed, it is clear to the government that Mr. Muhammad Afghanism is definitely ready with the financial resource at his disposal. Collecting tax or collecting revenue related to oil is effective for the government, but the government is still able to spend more flexibly, perhaps in the present situation, said Mr. Muhammad Afghanism. From my opinion, the entire Malaysia tax system also needs to be revamped and reformed to raise government revenue to compensate for the dropping oil price. An efficient tax system is important to ensure that there is no leakage of revenue, especially in the digital economy sector, which still does not have a clear tax structure. And next, the cost optimization step need to be implemented comprehensively at all stages, both in the term of supply and demand. Both players in the industry and consumer should be frugal in order to avoid wasting their money. Both parties must also review their cost structure to ensure that the cost can be minimized by lowering oil price. Compliance with the government needs to be done to ensure that this happens. In short, fluctuation in the price of crude oil, as in the case of the commodities such as rubber and palm oil, are out of control and are commonplace for commodities. Technical progress would also reduce crude oil price in the long term. This is partly due to the increase in demand from renewable sources, such as biofuels, in order to address the problem of falling oil price. The government should be able to take short-term steps and at the same time push economic growth to a lower level than had previously been expected. However, the need to focus on long-term measures that can be taken by updating and enhancing technologies and diversifying the downstream crude oil industry is more important, especially in the COVID-19 season. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.